One of the most common questions I get is how to tie dye with black, specifically how to ice dye with black. And I have unfortunate news for you. You can, but it won't turn out very black. But if you use liquid dye, you can get black. And that's how I dyed this shirt, and I'm gonna walk you through it. Let's get into it.
My favorite black I like to use is Raven Black. I've also heard Jet Black from Jacquard is really good. But for this one, I'm going to show you with Raven Black. So the hardest thing about dyeing with black is you're going to need so much dye. So for Dharma, every company has a different ratio, but for Dharma, you basically want 1 ounce per teaspoon. So I'm doing 4 ounces here, so half a cup, and then I'm doing 4 teaspoons in there. And this water is just like a little bit warm, it's not hot, just to dissolve the dye. There's also soda ash in this dye. That was because I usually do ice dyeing. I would not suggest that. If you have a big old pot of black dye, don't mix soda ash with it because soda ash will start to break down your color. So it will only be effective for like an hour. Whereas if you don't have soda ash in it, you can like put it in the fridge and it can last for like 2 weeks. So anyway, for this first one, I'm doing geode socks. So I'm just wrapping that sinew around 4 to 5 times, and then I wrap it around my puller and I pull tight. You'll feel like a little tug when you know it's tight enough. I also suggest wearing gloves when you do this because if you have soaked your things in soda ash, which you should do, 1 cup of soda ash per gallon, it will be kind of slimy and sticky. So I like to wear gloves when I do any sort of sinew on my wet soda ash soaked stuff. All right, so those are the socks, and then here I started squirting on the dye. You can just see you just squirt it on as much as you possibly can, trying to make sure that you don't get it all over because it is quite messy. This is just in a little paper organizer that has holes in it, and I have it suspended over a Tupperware container so it drips off of it, but not on my counter, obviously. All right, so this is the shirt I decided to do. I just wanted to show you how the blacks kind of look a little bit different because this shirt is cotton. Those socks were bamboo. So you'll see in the final result, the bamboo takes the black a lot better. Cotton, it still kind of looks it still kind of has a little bit of a blue hue to it, which is okay. But like I said, I think Jacquard Jet Black gets it blacker, but this is the best option from Dharma. They have other blacks as well, like New Black and Better Black. I've just found that Raven is the blackest black. As far as ice dyeing goes, like I said, I wouldn't really suggest ice dye to get black because it will split purple and blue, but you can do that, and it is a cool effect. It's really dark colors, but it won't be black, true black, like this end result is. So anyway, here you can see I'm just doing my standard geode tie, and here I'm adding the dye onto that geode shirt. So these shirts are still wet. I like to apply dye when it's wet. I feel like the dye travels farther and you don't need as much of it. One thing I didn't show on the socks is that I did flip them over and dye the underside, so I'll show you that on this. Here you can see I flip it over and all of that space needs to be filled in as well. This is going to require a lot of dye. So for these socks and this t-shirt, I used about 6 ounces of dye. So that's 6 teaspoons of black. That's a lot of dye. So just know if you are going to be doing like more than one project, you're probably going to want to get a bigger pot of dye. So here I ran out and I went and mixed some more. That's where I ran out right there. So if you're only doing one shirt, you could probably get away with doing just 4 ounces. But that is my suggestion. Okay, so this is the part where I was reminded I do not like dyeing with liquid dyes, especially black, because it is so super pigmented that it takes forever to rinse out. So I'm doing my standard rinse out process with cool water, just rinsing in cool water and untying. And then once I get it relatively clear, I bump that water up to hot and I rinse it that way. I have a full video of how I do my rinse out process. If you're curious about that, I'll link it below. But you can see that white space already has like a little bit of blue in it, and that's just because it's not fully rinsed out yet. But once you rinse it out in that cool water and then bump it up to hot and then use the Dawn dish soap on it, you will start to see that white space lighten up a little bit, ideally, if you have, if you tied it tight enough. If you didn't tie it tight enough, it might still be like a little bit blue. But so that was the rinse out for the socks. You can see as I'm doing this right here, there's still black coming out. This rinse out process for the socks and the shirt took me 17 minutes. So just for reference, usually when I rinse out an ice dye project, it doesn't take me longer than 5 minutes. Even when I do hoodies, it's typically like 8 minutes. So 17 minutes in a rinse out is insane. But it's because of this black pigmented dye. So just know that what you're getting into with that. So here is the black rinse out process. I'll just let you watch this and I'll come back when you see it all rinsed out. All right, so here is that final result. It is really cool, just black color. You can see it has a tint of blue, but that's pretty normal. Here's the back of the shirt. I think it turned out really cool. The socks here you'll see are much more black. So anyway, if you liked this video, please let me know and let me know what you want to see next.
Thank you so much for checking out this video. If you have any questions whatsoever, please comment below. I love to answer all sorts of questions. Also in the link below, there is a free printable just for you, 12 of my very favorite folds. It's an ebook written out just for you. All I need is your email and I'll send it right to your email. I also have an Etsy store. If you liked what was in this video, it might already be gone, but there might be something else that you love in my store. So check that out. Thank you so much for supporting me. We'll see you next time.